Blah. Sorry. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Woodchat for July 9th, 2014. I'm Matt Gradwell from uppercutwoodworks.com. I have a sunburn and a red shirt on. This is not the sunburn. This is the red shirt. This is the sunburn. Anyway, with me as always are Chris and Scott. Say hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, sorry, I don't know what.
You know it's going to be a good show when we start out. Blah.
Yeah.
That's always.
I was waiting for it to say broadcast has started, and I'm like,
No, I
can keep it in.
I can't top that. I'll do that to you, Matt. I'm Chris Wong, coming to you from Port Moody, BC. Lots of exciting stuff happening in the shop right now, and we'll talk about some of that today. You can follow me on Twitter at Flair Woodworks. That's where you get your first-hand news of all the latest and greatest and craziest stuff coming through this area here. Yeah, and check out my
maybe
website.
Not the greatest, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to say something. Make it sound grand. Oversell. See my work and check out my blog at flairwoodworks.com. That's me. And he's Scott.
Hey, what? Oh, that's my cue.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to work on my design thing. It's awful, but it's whatever. You can find me at scottmeekwoodworks.com, and on Twitter you can find me at smeekwoodworks. And I make hand tools and some furniture once in a while.
There we
Cool.
go.
So yeah.
So
what are we doing today?
Well, I was a loser last week, and I was traveling, and so I missed Woodchat. And Chris was a loser last week,
Oh.
but not as big as a loser as me. So, Scott, how did it go?
I guess it went okay. I don't think anybody actually watched it, though. So
I watched
there's
it.
absolutely no participation on Twitter.
Oh.
So Joe and I had Joseph Laviolette joined me, and we had a nice little conversation, but we enjoyed it. So
It was a good show, Scott. I watched it later, and you guys ran over time, so that's always a good sign when you're not saying, "Is it an hour yet? Is it an hour yet?"
Yeah, we were having fun. I really enjoyed the design I came up with for last week. I wish we'd had more participation on it because I thought it really catered to something neat. So, but no, it was fun. Was your guys' reasons for missing worth missing that wonderful show that Joseph and I put on?
The what?
Will I get in trouble if I say yes?
No, it's all good.
I was
You were where?
in my car, driving.
There's apps on the phone to chat on.
Yeah. Well, if somebody else was driving, I could have done that, and that would have worked just fine.
Oh, Diami's done that lots. I've been in hangouts with other people, and Diami just jumps in on the phone on his driving in his car.
I think I've heard him do it.
Yeah. And he gets distracted, so he turns his screen around or something. I can't. Anyways, so we've got a new.
Look at your design. Is it on the Flair Woodworks page?
The current one, it absolutely is.
The one he did, the one from last week.
Oh,
no, I can.
no,
Let's see. I can pull it up.
I need that one. Okay. Yeah, Scott and Joe, I need you guys to.
Design from last week, right?
What was that, Matt?
What was that?
Scott, you said you really liked your design from last week.
Yeah, I was fun. It's a lamp. I'm gonna pull it up here a second. I just gotta save the one I'm working on. So.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh right, yes. We had the spiral staircase. Nobody bit on the slide tower, which I was surprised at.
Did anyone else send in designs after the fact? Or was it just
I did not see any.
You know what I just remembered, Chris? Out in my shop, I have a whole bunch of ideas for that. and
For last week's?
I will for the spiral staircase. So I will submit
Okay.
a design for that later.
Send it in, next week, or bring it to us next week.
Yeah.
We'll do a flashback. Blast from the past.
Hey, let's see if this works this time. If I do a screen share. It did not work well last.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of lines across your screen. That came through in the video, too.
Is it working here?
That looks good there.
Let's see what
Oh
happens.
That's a crazy map,
All
Scott.
those segments.
It's just a billion squares you just glue up.
Yeah, I can zoom in here a little bit.
And then clean
I
up all
can
the
see
corners with the
each-
shoulder
Oh,
plane.
holy crap! They're hollow squares.
Yeah, each layer is just a frame, and it's turned 5 degrees to the next and shrunk by an order of whatever. Some are shrunk.
Yeah.
And then the openness of it is in order to allow light to kind of escape all different parts of the lamp. So the idea was to have bulbs all the way through the column and in the base and
Yeah,
end up in the top here. So you can,
that would be pretty cool.
a lot of freaking work.
Yeah.
But I want to
That
do it.
would
I'm
be
gonna,
a
Wait a minute,
good,
show from the top again. Show from the top again.
that would be a good candidate for a 3D printer, Scott.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Or to be
There's
hand
actually
out of one solid block.
Yeah. There's a maker group that I just found out about here in Nashville that I'm going to try to go to a couple of their meetings and get connected to those guys. Possibly meet somebody that's got a 3D printer that can do a mock-up for this one.
Cool.
That could be pretty awesome. But yeah, I think that'd be neat. It just there's gaps all over the place, so light would just kind of spill out of wherever it can.
Yeah.
There's the bottom, the upper part. So
It's
fun to put together. I can do that in SketchUp all day long, but whenever there's, I was trying to draw one of my planes in SketchUp, fully rendered, detailed, one of my joiner planes, and because of the way all the curves, especially the grip on the joiner works, I can't do it. I've got somebody trying to work on it for me in SolidWorks, but he's struggling with it too. So
I might be able to do that for you in Rhino.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see what the guy at
sculptural
SolidWorks
stuff
comes up with. But
yeah.
hopefully he's
I
not
just need
putting
a plane.
20 hours into it, because I'm exchanging money towards a plane towards it. So.
I just need a plane to model to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask you, in the column of your lamp, would light come through that as well?
Yes.
Or would it just be the top bottom? Okay, through the
I
column.
think it holds all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was space in between the pieces in the column, because they don't change.
Just the space and the twist.
Okay, so there's a little bit of room there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys want to switch over to this week's
Yes,
picture
sir.
inspiration?
Space.
Okay. This one is a picture that Scott brought to us, and it was a tougher one than I thought it would be. It's got a picture of a plane hammer by Sterling Toolworks, brass, and what's the other end here?
The piece on that one is walnut.
Oh, okay, so wood. Okay, walnut and brass, and sitting on a molding plane. I was looking at the forums trying to draw something out of the form. I couldn't. I don't know. I just wasn't seeing it, so I went with a more literal design this week. And I saw that Matt did as well, and I haven't seen what Scott's come up with yet, but we'll have a look. You guys mind if I go first this time?
Go
Go
for it.
ahead.
All right, let me pull up my picture here. That's Matt's picture. That's my picture. All right.
It's not showing. It's not.
Yeah, I'm getting a screen share. Okay. So I've got this little desk here with 3 drawers and 3 buttons on the top. And I think I just make the button. I'm not sure whether I make them small or big, but basically the idea is you hit the button and then you push out the drawer.
Okay. Kind of using the same concept as the that wall hanging cabinet.
Yeah,
that you
yeah, push to open. Except this is like a like I have nothing. You slam your hand on the desk and you pop out a drawer and it hits you and then somewhere. Or maybe it hits a person across the desk. I don't know.
So the hammer influence this just in the aspect of you hit it with a hammer, or
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if I'd actually include a hammer. I was thinking I could make those pins.
I decided you have to.
Yeah.
yeah, and the little they need to be shaped like moles, so it's like
Yeah, I was
whack-a-mole.
thinking that too.
So, Chris, you could make it where the hammer you make is the only way to push the buttons down.
Yeah, I thought about that.
You could make those look like railroad spikes or square bench dogs or something.
Yeah.
And put like a magnet in there.
Uh-huh.
And then or a metal bar, and then put a rare earth magnet in the head of your hammer, so that you have to hit it with your hammer or the drawers won't open. Do some kind of trick.
Yeah. See, I was torn between whether to make these buttons 3/4 inch, for example, or make them 3 or 4 inches diameter so you can slap it with the palm of your hand. I'm not sure. It could go either way there, and I also thought about mixing it up so the right button does the middle drawer, the center drawer does the center button does the right drawer, for example, or they're not directly corresponding.
Make it random.
Yeah. And the best way that I thought of to open the drawers is to put a wedge on the bottom of the pin, and then a wedge on the back of the drawer. So as you push it down, it forces it forward.
Yeah. Yeah, two opposing angles.
Yep. Or it could even be a roller on the end of the pin, and then a ramp on the back of the drawer, something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be less friction.
I think you'd make it so you didn't even know there was drawers, right?
I think I'd make it so you know that there's drawers, but you don't know how to open them.
Gotcha.
And those buttons could be inset in the surface too. I kind of made them sticking out because I thought it'd be cooler that way. I was trying to think of another use you could have for them too. Maybe that could be like 3 big buttons on the back that form like a rail that keeps your paper from falling off or something. Or props up your computer or something. I don't know. Or it could be recessed as inlay into the table. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I'm really intrigued with this whole mechanical movement built into furniture type thing.
Yeah, there's been some pretty amazing stuff that's been built, and some reproduction stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. Another variation of this theme that I like to do is have, say, 3 drawers, and you have to push one drawer to open the other drawer. So you push the left drawer to open the center, center to open the right, right to open the left.
You could do 2 buttons for 3 drawers.
And then a secret compartment, or you just open one drawer, then you reach in and open the second drawer?
No, if you hold down the middle and the right, it opens the right. If you hold down the middle and the left, it opens the left. If you hold down the middle, it opens the middle.
Combination.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, have you guys ever seen those trick locks where you have to take the key and you use the key to push a button, the button opens, another flaps, you get a little nut, you take the nut. I think it's something like that too. You take off the leg, you put the leg over here and you push this button and you open up the back panel and you take out a key and the key opens a panel underneath. I'd like to build one of those desks. Just something really complicated with a billion different steps to get in.
So typically those desks aren't on legs; they're an entire carcass.
Yeah, like a secretary
They
desk.
have weights and pulleys
Hmm.
and slides, and so I think. Well, I guess you wouldn't need weights for this one because
No.
you're going to have it held back.
Oh.
You're going to have it held back by some kind of latch with a spring
Um,
or a wedge or something.
I don't think so. You just push it back.
Right.
It doesn't need to be held back. I guess you could lean the whole table forward and have them slide forward. Or I could put a small magnet just so they don't slide out on their own.
Right.
How about a spring-loaded drawer? It shoots it forward at you? Or shoots it up?
If you don't catch it, it'll shoot it across the room.
Yeah, the kickback table.
It's so obnoxious.
We've got the craziest ideas today, this week.
You could put flesh sensing technology on it, so that the drawer stops closing if your fingers are still in the drawer.
I was thinking,
slam your fingers in the drawer.
I was thinking of using that the brake cartridge from the saw stops and putting it at the back of the drawer, and then if you touch this metal panel, it fires the brake and shoots the drawer out.
That could work.
That'd probably cause more lawsuits than I would say.
But it's an interesting idea to hack one of those cartridges.
Yeah, it
to
is.
Make to make a furniture movement.
Mm-hmm. That's an expensive opening of a drawer, though. $80 or whatever.
Well, just as long as you don't have to do a new cartridge each time.
Oh, if you can reset it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Steve Gass, see if you can see if he can put his big plans on hold to design a drawer opener for me.
Scott just got involved with a maker group. They could do it. They do electronic stuff all the time. That would be fun.
How about electromagnets or magnets where if you turn one way it holds it and then you turn around and it repels it?
You could do electromagnets pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. I was looking in a metalworking catalog, looking at and seeing all the magnetic vices they have, which is pretty cool. Too bad there isn't such a thing for wood. There's suction magnets, vacuum clamps, but it's not quite the same. Vacuum vices, or no, magnetic vices, yeah. Okay. So that's my design there. Anybody have any questions?
Let me check here. It doesn't seem to be updating.
Mine looks current. Okay. So no questions for me. That's a pretty cool. I don't know. I like that. Yeah. If I get some time, I like to expand on that.
I think if you can do the if you can make the piece that's just obnoxiously complicated, where you're, like you said, you keep finding more and more keys to open the next compartment, whatever. It'd be fun if you were left with just the very basic skeletal structure at the end.
Yeah.
So you just got 4 legs and a flat top.
Actually,
and that's all that's left. But you start with this really ornate, insane piece.
I had a similar idea, Scott. Just you saying that. You turn the last key and the desk falls apart.
Call it self-destruct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, who's up next?
Is Scott's design ready?
What's that?
Is your design ready, Scott?
Not really. So go for it.
That's up next.
Let's see. Crapola. What the hell? All right, there it is. So like you said, Chris, I went literal. This is something I've been wanting for a while. I think Roy has one of these. Just a big freaking mallet. Literally a log with a huge handle, but I would otherwise I wouldn't be able to lift it, so I'd try and hollow it out. Like I'd basically cut the two ends off of my bandsaw, try and cut out the middle, glue the cylinder back, and put the ends back on.
Okay.
To make it hollow.
Okay.
Or cut one end off and drill it out if I could, but I've always wanted one of these just to walk around at work with. But yeah, big freaking hammer, almost a Gallagher hammer, but maybe actually bigger.
Gallagher.
Have you seen a commander mallet, Matt? Do you know what a commander mallet is?
Commander mallet or commando?
Commander.
I don't think so.
I think they're from Japanese woodworking. They're essentially that with a shaped handle.
Oh, these are for the timber framers.
Timber framers and Japanese stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
135
guys who build like the Japanese temples and stuff.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, they don't use it for like shoji screens.
No. 120 ounces. So how many pounds is that?
Well, 8.
Yeah, I've wanted to make a giant mallet too. I haven't done it yet. I've got a handle actually here.
It's a little bit more than 8. Oh, it's 7. That's wrong.
I've got a nice...
No, it's right. It's 7.
Okay. I've got this nice handle which I salvaged from some kind of tool. I don't know what. It's quite long anyways, but I can make a mallet with that. Just need to get a nice big log.
Where did you find it, or did you make that?
I found it. It came off something. I don't know what it came off of.
So, looking at the Commander mallet pictures, some of them have metal bands around the faces so that they don't get all busted up. So I might do that. Oh, apparently there's somebody in the military whose name is Commander Mallet. Because his picture just showed up.
I hope he's a drill sergeant. That name just, that needs to be a drill sergeant.
Or a cartoon character. Colonel Robert A. Mallet. Yeah, so some of these Commander Mallets look like they have really big faces, but the handles look so... The handles actually look pretty delicate. I don't want a delicate handle.
Well, you kind of got to get your hand around it.
Yeah, that's fine. These look like These look like drumsticks with wine barrels.
Well, remember that it's a 4-foot long handle too.
Yeah, here, take a look at this. Nah. See how those... They look like drumsticks with wine barrels on them almost.
Yeah.
I'd want a beefier handle, I think.
So I'm guessing that I'm guessing, Matt, if you want to carry this around at work, that your fellow employees love you.
Pretty much. It's okay. They're not going to be. They're not going to take it as a threat.
I found a cool thread here, Matt. You'll like this. Forestry Forum. It's called Show Us Your Commander/Beetle/Persuader. Post a link in Twitter in a second here. But he's got a baseball bat for a handle.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
an 8x8 beam for the head.
Why do they call it a beetle?
I have no idea. There's another one there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make one of
That
those.
looks like, yeah. They get into talking about strapping, how to put strapping on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop a link. That one's a nice looking one there. But still a small handle.
Yeah, so that the reason one of the reasons I went extreme on the hammer was because that plain hammer was so beautiful and perfect and small, and so I wanted something just a little bit gigantic,
A little ridiculous.
a little ridiculous.
If anybody has any leads on some 10x10 oak, give Matt a jingle.
Yeah.
I can almost see Matt chasing around moles in his yard with this mallet.
You could probably open a beer with it too.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
Probably open a person's head with it if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
It would be funny to make it hollow so that it was light, even though it looked big and
Yeah, so you can just like swing it around and
just look like you have superhuman strength, right?
yeah, but you gotta make it so you can actually hit stuff without like hit the floor without it exploding.
Yeah.
Maybe make it out of pine, Matt. Wrap it in oak veneer.
Oh yeah, make it light,
Yeah.
solid. Maybe.
How you doing, Scott?
Now we're coming on.
Do I share your design?
Yeah, give me a second. Anybody else have anything on?
Are you trying to avoid?
I have a couple of things to share with you guys, but not on the same topic. There's a cardboard box over my shoulder here. You see that? It came in the mail Thursday from Scott here.
All right, I think I'm ready. I'll show a couple of different things on here.
Okay.
Actually, one just kind of came together while we were on here. It was like I was trying to do something else, and coffee table. It'll work.
Coffee table inspired by a hammer.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
Okay.
what I was, let me do a screen share here. The part of the hammer that I kind of drew inspiration from was actually, let me take it off screen. The part that I was kind of intrigued by is the square that transitions to the round here. So
Yep.
Okay.
I thought that was a really cool transition. So I was trying to come up with something that incorporated that transition. And so first I was trying legs for a hall table, and they just looked like normal
Yeah.
shaker legs actually,
Yeah.
or shaker. They just looked like normal legs, and so it wasn't anything unique. So then I was trying to play with kind of an idea for a little jewelry box or keepsake box or something that incorporated that, but I'm just not happy with how that's coming together. And so then I was thinking, what if I did a chair with a round base, and then it comes up to this. You can see I was this way, and so I was going to create some arms here, and
Okay.
it'd just be all funky shaped, kind of window castle, or not castle, Wendell Castle. Yeah.
There is a Wendell Castle who's famous. I'm not sure who.
Is that his furniture? He's got very curvilinear forms, and so kind of thinking along those lines. But then I got to this point. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like a coffee table. So if you flip it over this way, and you can have a round top coffee table with a hexagon base.
Interesting.
But this curve, continues right to the point, so you get that same.
Yeah. So. Interesting.
So that's what we'll stick with.
Okay. Yeah, I've had a lot of interesting ideas trying an experimentation. Many hours spent in the shop trying to make for example, a hexagon merge into a octagon, and different things like that. And it's interesting doing that kind of stuff. That's kind of where I see that going.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you make the base a little bit smaller? So that
I think if if it was going to actually be a coffee table, the base would need to be smaller. This is a little drawing I did on my phone of the idea for the chair.
Okay.
And so that split here in the middle of the concave section, I figured it would literally spin on that, so you could spin the chair and feel like Dr. Evil, or I'm thinking big, massive, like super villain looking kind of chair. But I don't know. I was really happy with it.
That was weird.
Yeah.
2 mats. Crap.
I can kick the other one out. I had to join as.
Okay.
Shit, I don't think I can do that. I have to leave Woodchat in here. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. It just keeps kicking me.
It might drop out on its own. I don't know. We'll see.
I need to stop.
It'll log it out eventually.
Yeah.
It will automatically.
Jerry Morgan recommends Thor's hammer. Not doing that.
That's what I want.
Hmm.
Mjolnir. Oh, there goes Woodchat now. Woodchat's gone all of a sudden.
All right. I want to show you guys my cribbage table, which I built. I finished early this week. See, it has a comment on it now. I've been making cribbage boards for a long time now, and a customer asked me if I could make a cribbage board table. I said, I can't. I have no idea what I charge for it, so let me build one. So I built this table here. It's massive. It's about 58 inches.
Oh, wow. And then you charge $1 million?
Yeah. I've got a price for it. I think I've got it listed. I can't remember. Check the page.
That's the one with the funky...
Yeah. So I had fun with the base here. I took my bandsaw, I made a cut down here, a quarter of the way down, made another cut halfway down, and then another cut 3/4 of the way down, and then wedged them as far apart as I could, each of the sections. And then I marked where those mortises would go, and I mortised the leg, and I beat the tenons into that. That was a really interesting experience doing that.
I'll bet.
I got together.
That's got such a cool look.
Yeah.
What kind of wood is that?
The stretcher is oak.
Okay.
And then, if you've been following me for a long time or for a while, you might have seen when I messed up one hole as I routed all the holes in the table. So I decided to fill it with epoxy and then re-drill the hole. And that is the 27th hole rather. So we called it Beware of Step 27. Yeah.
Oh, and those are the cribbage pegs?
Yeah, I'm not entirely happy with them. I think I might turn some.
Yeah.
So can people sit on there while they play?
You could. Yep. That's kind of a cool idea.
One on each end or whatever? Or?
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. You could. You can straddle it comfortably. Just gotta watch out if someone pegs towards you. You gotta move. It is also a distance, a width, a length rather, where you can actually sit in the middle and you can peg from one side to the other as well. So it's not too long, but it is on the big side for sure. And while we're on my blog, yeah, thanks. I want to remind everyone that Overflow is back as well. This is where I get rid of stuff I don't need in my shop.
Yeah, you have some saw sets, right?
Yeah, I've got 3 saw sets I'm unloading right now. Got lots more, so you have to watch my blog pretty carefully though to catch them. So I would recommend you subscribe. And that's what's happening right now on my blog. Okay, let's get out of screen share here. I mentioned to make crib boards. All right. This is box over my shoulder here I want to open. Now a good time?
Yes.
Okay. So this box came in the mail Monday, and it's addressed to me. It came from Scott, my next door neighbor over there in Computerland. And I don't know, I wasn't expecting a box, so kind of surprised me that it came, that it showed up, that I got a box from Scott, but it's here. I've been kind of busy, so I haven't opened it, so let's see if I can do that here.
Chris, are you not wearing a shirt?
No, I'm not. I was working outside. It's really hot.
I know you're excited about what's in the box, but you know, it's excessive.
Are you wearing pants?
No panning down the camera.
Okay. So, yeah, no panning down the camera. So, apparently got a hand plane from Scott Meek. It says, "Thank you for purchasing a Scott Meek Woodworks plane." So, business card in there. Artisan crafted fine furniture and hand tools, it says. And a little booklet here on some sort of cardstock. Nothing on the back. And he's got the specifications of the plane on a label here, which is a nice little feature. So I guess if I forget what it is.
You forget what wood you sent me to make a plane out of. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this stems back. This originated, what, a year ago, Scott? Almost a year ago?
Has it been that long?
So last fall, I guess 9 months or something, we sent some molding planes down to Scott to take to Woodworking America to show in his booth, and they didn't show up. So Scott had these set of molding planes, and we said, "What are we gonna do with them?" They finally did show up, but after he got back home, he got them. So Scott said, "Well, Scott, this is your idea, right, Scott?"
Yeah.
Scott wanted to trade the set of molding planes for smoothing planes. So I've been waiting and bugging Scott about them for a while now, and I guess that's what I've got here in the box. Oh yeah. Show and tell time. Scott has big hands. I can't do that. I can't get 5 in one hand.
You gotta pull a shaving with that today, Chris.
Shaving? That?
Pull a shaving. No, you cut it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, got some shavings on top of the box there. All long ones, nothing too crumbly. I'll put that over there.
I made sure they weren't too wispy thin. I know you like your shavings on the thicker side, so.
Yeah. What's that? I like to say it's not a shaving if you can't hear it hit the ground. Okay, so it's got a well packed in foam there. There's something, so.
Holy crap, Scott! You pack those in foam like that, huh?
Yep.
That's
The
a nice
first
color.
few I didn't ship like that, and the blades would come loose, and they just cause some dings and dents. And so
So that has got some weight to it.
Foam to do that?
What's that?
How do you do the foam?
You know those electric turkey cutter or meat cutters?
Yeah.
They got 2 blades. Those cut foam like butter.
Like butter.
And it's shrink wrapped, Chris?
Yes, shrink wrapped. Is there a reason for that, Scott? Are you trying to make it look like it's, I don't know. Is it a humidity thing?
No, more like keep the blade and the wedge into place in case with movement or wherever it's going.
Yeah, it holds everything in perfect place.
And I don't, the foam I have to use to pack it in. I don't want it to discolor the wood. So.
Okay. It's a shaving in the mouth of the plane. Look at that.
Glass shaving.
That is quite a massive plane, Scott. So in the manual there, I saw the sticker. It said a 2-inch blade, and I don't think many 2-inch blades are quite this. Any planes with 2-inch wide blades are quite this wide. Getting out my scale here. This one comes in at 3 7/8 or 2 7/8 inch. It's a pretty wide plane. Well, that lignum has a nice feel to it.
Isn't that nice? I honestly didn't want to send that one out the door. That was a fun one to use.
Okay, you've got Scott's logo on the front there. Was it hard to shape? Noticeably harder to shape than other planes you've made?
It clogged the rasps up pretty good.
Yeah, it is oily and gummy, isn't
It
it?
wasn't too bad. I wasn't able to put the front stamp is in the center it's got SMW, and then at the top it has SMTH for smoother.
Yep.
And at the bottom it's got the date of the year that was made.
Yep.
Normally I put a logo stamp on the side of the planes.
Yes.
But because of that lignum, I think I could barely get it to.
There's a ghost of a circle there. I don't know if you guys can pick it up, but it's right. I know.
I
Noticed
tried.
that in the box. Yeah. Wow. That's got a great feel to it, Scott. Both in the contouring and the weight of that. People say wooden planes are light. I want to weigh this against my Veritas number 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyone want to bet which one's heavier? So I've got.
I bet the Veritas is still heavier.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not with that lignum. I know my Lee Nielsen number 4 is heavier than like a maple or white oak.
Back in a minute.
I don't remember what that weighed when I shipped it out. I should have written that down.
Right. Okay.
Do you know if Garth got his too? I'm assuming, since you got yours.
He told me that he got a shipping notification though, and I didn't get one. For whatever that's worth.
Huh.
So I've got a scale back here which I use for weighing packages, and let's weigh the Veritas one first. So my scale's here. Turn it on, and turn it on. You guys want pounds or kilograms?
Pounds.
Okay, ounces, pounds. So here's my Veritas here. Veritas number 4 with a 2-inch wide blade, custom handles. That one, yeah, that one is quite heavy. 4 pounds, 9.8 ounces.
Yeah, it's heavier. I think the whole package that I sent
4
was
pounds, 9.8 ounces.
Yep. They both feel
Okay,
quite
so
heavier.
4.5
I
pounds.
don't know. I'm holding them both, and they both feel really close. I'm gonna guess 4 pounds at least. I think I've heard before that because there's more material contacting your hand in a wooden plane, they tend to feel heavier. Let's see. Oh wow, not even close. 2 pounds, 11.7 ounces. So almost 2 pounds heavier is the Veritas. Almost, I don't know, 40% heavier. That's my quick math does, but does not feel like such a significant difference.
Yeah.
So this has been my go-to smoother, by the way, since the beginning of time. And I don't know. We'll see how Scott's smoother does.
The one thing you'll have to let me know on is as you use that, because of the bed being lignum and being oily, I tried to leave it a little scuffed a little bit more with a heavier bit sandpaper just to create some more friction between the blade. So you have to let me know if it slips. So I used it quite extensively before I shipped it out to see if it would slip at all, and it didn't here. But I know I've had like white oak planes that over time is putting the blade in and adjusting the blade just kind of burnishes that surface. So sometimes you just have to take some sandpaper on a little stick and just scuff it up and scuff up the backside of the wedge too.
Okay.
The backs? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I get the part that goes against the blade.
Yeah. The back of the wedge. Or the bed. I like how you got the grain centered there. And pretty well centered on the front too.
Yep.
But it does noticeably slope from the left side. You notice how high the dark grain starts there to the right side there.
Yeah, that piece you sent, it was pretty much, and that's exactly what I could get out of it, because there was a crack.
Yeah, I know. I was worried about that.
Right in the front.
Yeah. It's so smooth it feels almost like it's plastic,
Yeah. Yeah, that lignum's, you can really get that up to a nice shine. It's pretty stuff.
Shouldn't have to wax the sole of that one.
Not even once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely would glide over some maple. So.
You guys want to see a test run?
Sure, I'm curious how it's cut.
Okay. My bench is a little bit messy,
the
but
plane shipped from Asheville and went south to Miami, and then from Miami went north.
Okay.
And I'm sure I've made 2 or 3 other stops in between there.
See if I can get my bench in the picture here.
Oh, I know why he's shirtless. He knew he was going to be doing some planing, and he wanted to show off his muscles.
Yeah, that's not the best thing there. Here. I did not set up for this. I was not anticipating this. I need a bench right here or something.
Now, is that your new bench that's already covered in stuff?
Yeah. I've been working.
Gotta love flat surfaces.
I think that'll be about as good as we can get to that. So. Need this little caddy for all my stuff on my workbench stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea. Just a chunk of wood with some holes.
Yeah. And I picked the big heavy one, so even with the tall square there, doesn't want to fall over.
Nice. I like that better than the one that's hanging off the backside of mine. Gets it, you move it closer to your work. I always love seeing shops where real work happens,
Yeah.
where they're not scrubbed clean for photo shoots for magazines.
Look at how big his handle is on his vise.
Okay, so I've got a piece of ash here. Is that fitting, Scott? A piece of
What's
ash.
that?
Use a plane with some ash there.
There you go.
I like to use a carving mallet to set the plane. And that is very ready there. So. I'm going to get a small hammer, but I don't know. I just it works well for me.
You're gonna need one of Sterling Tools' new plane
I'm
adjustment.
gonna need one of my gigantic mallets.
Or that.
Yeah.
That would drive me nuts adjusting a plane with that big thing.
Got one light shaving, a little bit heavy on the right side.
It doesn't take much to make it thick.
Still a tad heavy on the right. I put a full shaving. But I think the blade skull stuff.
What's that?
I think the blade skull.
The base move?
I was just joking that the blade skull on it.
I still don't
I think
understand.
it's self-definite.
I'm very curious with all the traveling that plane's done if the sole needs to be adjusted at all.
What angle do
Although
you
I'll
use
be
on
in Lignum, I shouldn't move too much.
you know what angle you use on the wedges skull?
Do you know what I said, Matt?
No.
All I hear is the
Oh,
Charlie
sorry.
Brown parents' voices.
I'm trying to ask you if you know what angle you put on the wedges.
Angle on the wedge, somewhere around 7 degrees.
Right now I'm having trouble getting a cut again.
There's always more pressure to adjust the plane when people are watching.
Was it a watch plane, never planes?
Is that a rubber mallet, Chris?
Yeah, it's a European head on the mount. So, the blade does release really easily the wedge. And the blade is really sharp. No fault there. Skull, at this point in its life,
Check it with the blade in it, though. Just pull the blade back away from the, because the blade under tension will adjust the sole. I just pull the blade back an eighth of an inch from the sole and check it further.
Slightly convex, and it remains slightly convex with the blade and tension. Like that.
I understood.
Unless I'm not positioning it right, balancing it right. One thing I'm liking right away is how easy it is to take the pressure off the wedge by striking it right back here.
Matt, we need someone over there like translating and typing closed captioning for us.
I'll get in my car now. I'll be there in about 4 hours.
I'm right here. Okay, is that better? The mic's still plugged in, isn't it? You hear me now? You hear me now, Scott?
That doesn't sound any better. It sounds like you're in a barrel or a tin can or something.
Microphone plugged in unless it's live. No, unplug my fancy microphone. Maybe that'll help. Is that any better now, Scott?
A little bit.
I unplugged my shotgun mic. Just using the onboard computer mic.
So what do you feel it's doing? It's adjusting too easily?
No, I like how easy it is to release the blade in the wedge by striking at the back here.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just trying to get it to take an even cut, and because the sole's convex right now, I need to focus the pressure right over the blade. If I have the pressure too far on the back or the front, then it won't cut very well. So
right.
I may need to tune it. Cut there. You can see by the way it curls to the side that it's heavier on the left.
Heavy on the right.
So I can do that. Try it again. That's getting better. Started out fairly even. It's still curling to the left. Make sure I stop before this wood's gone. I need it for a project.
What kind of mallet do you adjust your molding planes with, Chris?
I use the same one.
Do you really?
I do. So
That's hilarious.
So here's a molding plane. That there. Yeah. Strike on the back to loosen the wedge, and I make the adjustment by tapping the blade and then the wedge at the top of the mallet.
Yeah.
That's how I adjust those. Okay. So there you go. There's my demo for the
Well, I hope you like it, man. I hope it serves you well. And
first impression, I would really like how it's made, the quality, and the aesthetics, and the level of finish. I guess it remains to be seen how it does over the course of time.
I'm confident it'll work just fine.
yeah, it's the first one I made in Lignum, so.
Right. You've done Lignum soles before, right?
I've done a couple Lignum soles, yeah. I had a student that made a jack in Lignum. when I
Oh, yeah.
taught him what to do. So,
So, would you make one out of lignin again?
probably not a solid lignum. I think the lignum sole is pretty sweet, but I love the looks of it, especially the two-tone.
If you guys
qualities of
remember,
that wood.
I made this lignin block plane a couple weeks ago, solid, one piece.
Oh yeah, with the funky wedge.
Yeah, the crazy wedge. I like this plane actually quite a lot. I've got it tuned pretty well right now. Needs a bit more shaping. There's some points on the back here which aren't too comfortable, but
Yeah.
I like how it works. So a little bit more tweaking.
So I still think that's the plane that Dr. Seuss would use.
Oh, of course. I think everybody should use one of these planes.
It's a big wedge poking out.
Yep.
Yeah. Thing one. All right.
Yeah, get yourself a smaller headed hammer for that plane though. You'll
Think so?
make it better.
Can I get a?
Because the problem with the rubber mallets is the rubber gives
Yeah.
on your hit, so you get a little bit of bounce back, and it can affect your depth adjustment.
You don't strike it that hard either, though, so I don't know. I might try a smaller one. Does anybody make an 8-ounce carving mallet?
That's a little.
8-ounce what?
Carving mallet, the urethane head.
Yeah.
It's a smaller one.
An 8-ounce urethane carving.
Anyhow, guys, we need a picture for this next week of.
Oh yeah. Anybody got anything?
That's what I was looking for.
Okay. Oh, I want to share this picture with you guys. This is something that I rediscovered today. Not a terribly interesting picture, but what I've got here. This is a picture from my garage. There's 3 shelves here, 1x4s in between 2x4 studs. And the significance of this picture is that I put these shelves in about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe longer, and I just friction fit them in between the studs. No nails, no glue, no screws, no fasteners, no brackets. I just cut them to the right length and wedged them in place. Someone told me that they'd fall out eventually, but they're still up there a few years later. So, like that.
Okay, I have an idea, but
Okay.
you guys might shoot it down, and if you do, that's okay. You ready?
That's it.
Huh. Cool. Okay. So we've got a logo from the World Cup.
Scott says no.
The FIFA logo.
Scott's face looks like poop.
I'm just trying to think what I would design for it.
I'm up for it. I don't have any ideas immediately, but
Sure, why not?
Okay. Chris, I'm giving you the URL in the chat window.
Cool.
It won't be hard to find those, right?
Okay, yes.
They're kind of all.
And let's go as an alternate design. Let's go back to the one from last week, or 2 weeks ago. The spiral staircase slide thing.
Yeah, I owe you one on that one.
Which nobody bit on. I'm going to pull it up here again for you guys. Slide tower. So we've got the FIFA World Cup logo or this tower to work with.
All right.
And both pictures will be posted up on my blog.
Okay.
Is on that tower, is that thing all the way at the top, is that a clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
And each individual hour marker lights up at night.
Yeah.
So this is a real thing. This is not a...
Yep, it's a German furniture company.
How tall is it?
Very tall.
Oh, it looks like it's about 4 stories.
4 stories, that's all?
Well, I'm just at least 4 stories. I mean, I'm just counting.
The observatory deck is probably 4 stories up.
Air things. Might be taller than that.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll bet that slide is fun.
Yeah. All right. So you've got your challenge, your assignment this week. Come up with a design based on either the World Cup logo or the spiral slide. Anything else tonight, guys?
That's it.
All right. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, you start.
All right. So this has been Woodchat. Yeah, what do you call that? This has been Woodchat for July 9th, 2014. We caught up on the picture inspiration game and picked out 2 more pictures for next week's inspiration. We welcome you to draw up your design or build it out of clay or wood or optical sticks or whatever you have. And send us your drawings either on Twitter using hashtag Woodchat, or you can email them to me as well. Chris@flairwoodworks.com is my email. And we will share them with the world next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. We're going to do Woodchat, an hour-long show. We also talked about a few other things, including some of the recent happenings in my shop. Case in point, cribbage table which I just finished, and a mysterious brown box which I got from Scott Meek, which did not contain any flaming food. That's all I've got, guys. You guys want to sign off?
We'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Oh, and don't forget about the Woodchat sponsored design contest on Reddit as well. So if you're designing and building a piece for that.
How much time's left, Scott?
How much time is left? End of the month, July 29th.
Okay, a bit more time, and yes, you have to actually build a design for that challenge, and there are real prizes as well for that one. So check it out. All right. See you guys.
All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.